My directions say to factor completely. I look for a common monomial factor. 7 is prime, and it cannot go into 53. Actually, I think 53 is prime too. I don't have a variable term here. Okay, so there's nothing that I can take out of all three terms. So I'm going to have to use my little trick to deal with the leading coefficient that's not 1. What I do is I multiply 7 and 28. And I'm going to use my calculator for that. And yuck, I get 196. And I write that off to the side. Next, I'm going to write down my first term and my last term. I'm going to use their product to decide what to break my middle term into. I'm going to need to break that into two terms so that I can factor by grouping. Okay, 196. I need all the factors of 196. First, let me check my signs. They multiply to be a positive, so I'm looking at 2 positives or 2 negatives. Their sum is positive, so it's 2 positives. Okay, so now that I know that they're both the same sign, I know that I'm looking for factors that add up to 53. 196 is a big number. I don't really want to deal with right now all the factors. So I'm going to use my little trick on my calculator. I'm going to go to my y equals key, and I'm going to put it into my calculator. I'm going to put in 196 divided by x. I'm putting the product, what I'm looking for the factors for, and if x is a factor, when I go to my table, the numbers on the left, if that's a factor, I'll get a whole number for y. So I'm going to go now to my table. So I have to hit second table. Okay, 0 gives me an error because I cannot divide by 0. So here I go, 1 times 196, 2 times 98. 3 was not a factor because I got a decimal. Okay, 4 was. 4 times 49. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of them. I can scroll down and there's more. 7 times 28. Okay, so let's go back up. Remember, I'm looking for two numbers that add up, that multiply to 196, but their sum is 53. So it's not those, no. 4 and 49. 4 plus 49 is 53, so I found the right factors. So I'm going to go back here and use 4 and 49. Okay, so 4 times 49 is 196, and 4 plus 49 is 53. Alright, now I'm ready for factoring by grouping. Take my first two terms and take my last two terms. In the first two terms, I'm looking for a common monomial factor. Again, 7's prime and it doesn't go into 4, so there's no coefficient that comes. How about the a? I have a in both. Okay, so I'm going to take out an a, 1a. Okay, 7a squared divided by a is 7a, and 4a divided by a is positive 4. I can multiply back out to check real quick. A times 7a, a times 4, yep. Okay, now I look at my last two terms. 7, 7, 7, 7. Yep, 7 comes out of both of them. If I take out a positive 7, it will leave me with a positive 7. That's what I want. So let's take out a positive 7. I cannot take out a variable. There is none here. Okay, so 49a divided by 7 is 7a. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And I'm really excited because I got the same binomial here. Okay, so essentially I took the 4 terms and now have 2 terms. And these 2 terms have a common factor of 7a plus 4. I'm going to take that out. I have to multiply it by a to get the first term and by 7 to get the second term. So that's going to factor out this times a is the first one, and this times 7 is the second one. Okay, this doesn't have any, there's no special cases. I can't factor anything out. It looks like I'm done. So now what I want to do is use my calculator to double check that I have found an equivalent expression. My original expression, when you factor, you're not making any changes to the value, so it should be equivalent no matter what I have for A. Now, you know that I like to use X. It's faster. I'm lazy. I don't want to look for the letter. So I'm going to use X instead of all the A's. And the other thing that I like to do is, my favorite number to store is pi, since it's a button right on the calculator. But I want to use an irrational number. I want to use something yucky so that I don't get a coincidence. I don't want them to coincidentally be equal. I want them to really truly be equal. So 7x squared plus 53x plus 28. And now I'm going to go to the factors I got, put those in. 7, oops, I need parentheses, 7x plus 4 and x plus 7. Okay. And they are in fact equivalent. So since the two are the same, I feel really good about my answer, and I'm done.